600 students at Aalto when I was talking about startups and entrepreneurship. So this was in 2007, so quite a while ago already. But anyway, 600 students, only 3 raised their hand when I asked that, okay, how many want to start a company? And that's actually the reason we started Slush. Excuse me. So the reason we started Slush was not to make a great event. I mean, that was not like the thing, but it was all about changing the mindset, changing the attitude of like the whole nation. So we also wanted to make sure that it's not like just the kind of like startup bubble or like this like startup ecosystem, but we wanted everybody in Finland to get more entrepreneurial. So we worked a lot with media, a lot of this. So now when you ask anybody, you know, any little village, any street in Finland, you stop a random person, they all know about Slush. And I think that what we set out to do was really to change this mindset. And I think 5 years after starting Slush, went back to Aalto and I asked the same question, and then more than half the hands went up. And this is actually now true when I go to high schools. I visited, I think, about 100 high schools in Finland last 12 months, and then also many universities. So in every university, every high school in Finland, when I ask the question, typically nowadays half the hands go up. So everybody is interested in starting a company, and actually what they're interested in, like changing the world. And I think that I mean, Finland is known for having one of the best educational systems on the planet, but I always say that who cares if you have the best education on the planet if you don't do anything with that? And this is again the entrepreneurship. So we need fantastic education, we need entrepreneurial mindset, and then we need to make the whole thing like fun. So the entertainment piece there, and then I think that we're like onto something. And yeah, I'm a big believer in kind of like the future of you know, what I call the finest Bay Area. You know, so Finland, Estonia, Sweden, we have highest number of startups per capita, highest number of unicorns per capita, and also the biggest amount of venture capital being invested into local startups per capita, like here in our part of the world. So I think that now my big focus is making sure that we have the talent to support this growth and this development. So that's why I'm very interested in kind of like bringing in more international students to our universities, also bringing more young people to our high schools, vocational schools from all over the planet. So we can offer fantastic education, we can offer a fantastic ecosystem to start a company, to be an entrepreneur, you know, basically to change the world. So I think that, yeah, the future is all about the people. So it's always like that. And I think that the ones with the talent will win, and you know, that would be us. So we're working on making sure that we have the highest talent density like anywhere on the planet. And I think, you know, Slush is a great example of what can be done. I mean, we had over $3 trillion in venture capital gathered at Slush, so it's by far the biggest gathering of capital anywhere on the planet any given time, and it's in Helsinki and it's in November. So, you know, cold and dark, slush on the ground. So that's kind of like a good example of the fact that anything is possible if you can like set your mind to it and, you know, like just start making it real.
Building an ecosystem is, I mean, challenging, especially the people changing the mindset of people is very challenging and long term.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that? And additionally, we have seen last decade lots of successful Finnish companies and also Nordics and Baltics as well. To Finland's example, what is the secret sauce?
Yeah, I mean, we put young people in charge. I mean, when you come to Slush, the whole event, biggest, best startup event on the planet, it's all built by young people, and they are in charge. They make it happen. And this is something that is quite different from everywhere else. I mean, if you go to many of these, what I would call like wannabe Silicon Valley events, you know, you have, of course, there are young people there, but typically they're making coffee and handing out the badges. They're not like in charge. And at Slush, you know, the young people are running the show. They are doing everything. Yes, they are also making coffee and handing out badges and like all of that, but they are actually also running the show. So we have 1,600 volunteers like last year at Slush. And the whole idea with that is that you join Slush, you know, as a volunteer. You do that for a year, 2, 3 years, and you learn how to build the biggest and best startup event on the planet. You get the mindset, you get the attitude, the ambition. And once you do that, then you go out there after your Slush experience, and you build the biggest and best startups. And we have many examples of exactly that happening. So you could say that Slush is the biggest training program for future founders, future entrepreneurs. And it really, I think, boils down to the mindset and so the attitude and the ambition. I think that is really what it's kind of like all about. And Slush is great at delivering that at scale. And we see the results in not only Finland, but I mean in the whole like finest Bay Area. So fantastic, ecosystem in Estonia, in Sweden. And then when you look at this whole area, I don't think that anywhere else, comes close.
I mean, when I visited these geographies, especially Nordics and Baltics, I noticed that there's also competition between these all countries. How does this rivalry contribute to progress?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see like much of the competition really. I mean, of course, everybody always wants to do better and better, but I see a lot of collaboration. I mean, it's the same. If I look at the games industry in Finland, I mean, of course, you could think that we are all like competing and everybody's like, fierce competitors of everybody else. Of course, I mean, when it comes to talent, I mean, there's of course always competition, but in the end, like if you look at the market, we're competing for the attention, we're competing for, the time of the people. When I was at Rovio and working Angry Birds, I was asked that, okay, who's the competition? So I said, okay, Disney, because I mean, positioning all areas of entertainment, and then all of television. And the point I wanted to make is that we are competing for the attention of the people, for the time of the people. We all have limited time, limited attention span. So that's the competition. And if you look at the games companies, the game startups here in Finland and in like the region, we are comparing those, sharing best practices. If I need to know about, the latest and greatest in, I don't know, video advertising, I'll go and talk to the people who are best at that, or it could be like latest and greatest user acquisition strategy or something. I can talk to the guys who are actually best on the planet and compare notes with them. So it's very collaborative, and I think this is actually kind of like our mindset. I think this is it's a Finnish thing. You could also say that it's a Nordic thing, but it's true kind of like I would say for the whole like finest Bay Area here, that we don't have this thinking that for us to win, somebody else has to lose. I think that you can have win-win, but I really think that is true. So it doesn't if one games company is successful, it doesn't mean that others couldn't be. So it's again we have both Rovio, Supercell, Small Giant Games. There's lots of success stories in games, and I think that because we have a fantastic ecosystem, it's very supportive, and people understand that if we work together, we can all be like more successful. So it's not like a win-lose, but it's a win-win situation. So I don't think that I think that it's like healthy competition, and it's healthy collaboration. So it's not it's not working on this assumption that in order for somebody to win, somebody else has to lose. I think that most people realize that it's not like zero sum, but there's opportunity for everybody to be a winner.